Beginning. Nerd World Order Broadcast. Dynaphones connected. Initiating broadcast signal in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, it's all about the...
Booyah, what's up? It's your boy Joe, baby.
And to my other right, weighing in at 178 adamantium filled pounds coming straight out of Krakoa, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
You know, I think it's time to do Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3, I believe the X-Man nailed it today, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, because that's what we're going to be talking about. As you can see, there's been a huge announcement. Oh my God, it says huge announcement, but it's actually something else. I don't know. Things are going crazy here today. Yes, this is actually going to be discussing the new Deadpool 3 trailer that dropped today. Let's see here. Joe, Alfonso, what are your thoughts on this new... Joe, start us off. What are your thoughts on this new trailer that dropped today?
It was dope. It's short, but it's like, what is it, like a minute, maybe a minute and a half trailer, but it was huge. Amazing what a minute and a half can give you.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to convince people for years.
So that's what I'm trying to convince the ladies. A minute and a half, baby.
Yeah, a minute and a half on Space Mountain there, Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo!
So, Alfonso, what are your thoughts on Deadpool 3 trailer?
I'm pretty stoked. I'm a little apprehensive as well.
Let's get into that apprehension in a little bit. So, ladies, gentlemen, and knights, to those of you who are watching us on YouTube, because everything else crashed, join us as we watch this Deadpool 3 trailer. Buffer. It's going to buffer like you can't imagine. So, buffer with us now as we watch Deadpool 3. Buffer with me. So even see, what is this? There you go. Now we're buffering with Deadpool 3. And let's buffer with Deadpool 3. Where's the screen? There's the screen. Boom. First buffer. Deadpool 3 coming with sound. I have no idea why there's no sound, but there's no sound. It's a huge announcement. Yeah, I guess maybe they took this out. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have it, but pull through and tone it down. Boom. That's awesome. Don't know why there's no sound. Okay. 9-6-24. So now, ladies and gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd Order, that is the Deadpool 3 teaser, as we call in the industry. So yeah, that is pretty much that. let's see here. Alfonso, what do you think about that?
You know what's funny is I didn't see that whole one. I guess what I saw was a snippet of it. That looked pretty cool. I might have to go back and watch it where I can hear it because that definitely looked really cool.
Are you serious? That's not the one you saw.
No, it was the one I saw was just him sitting there talking real quick, and then Hugh Jackman walked up the stairs. I didn't even see him walk across the street. He just walked up the stairs,
Wow.
and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I'll do it." Or something.
Yeah, that's because everyone didn't care about the first minute, and they just took like the last part where they showed Wolverine.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let's jump into this, guys. So Amanda says there was no sound. I heard sound. Joe, did you hear sound?
No, I read the subtitles. I'm used to it.
No
That's how
sound.
that's how I watch anime, bro. So like, we don't do double
Wow.
rounders.
Wow. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Interesting. Well, thanks for that, Amanda. You are now our technical advisor. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about the first thing. Did you guys think there was ever a possibility that Hugh Jackman would return as Wolverine?
I did. Everybody's so in love with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds and him are really good friends. I mean, there's something there where he's just gonna like, hey, come do a movie. All right, sure, I'll do it. They kind of got that kind of relationship. I'm surprised he wasn't in part 2.
That brings up an interesting point, which, Joe, I know that you're an expert on this, so you can jump into it in just a second. Previously, we were told that the reason that the X-Men have to wait until it's either 2024 or 2025 is because all the actors associated with the X-Men characters will receive, basically, they have to be in the roles or they'll receive royalties no matter what. Do you feel that this was a easy way for them to get around that or get past that, Joe?
I'm not surprised about them announcing Wolverine and Deadpool 3, just because, to Alfie's point, the relationship that they had, and they've always been trying to get Wolverine and Deadpool. So I'm not as shocked or like happy. I'm happy for it, but I'm not the shock value for me isn't like, oh, I can't believe it. Like you see Soups on TikTok, oh my God, it's Wolverine, oh my God. Like, calm down, fool. Everybody knew it was coming. Like, I'm cool. I'm happy with it. But I wasn't surprised. I mean, it didn't, like, when he walked by, I wasn't like, oh my God, that's Wolverine. Like, you knew it was bound to happen. It makes perfect sense. And, if you're going to pay one character from the previous Marvel series, why not pay Hugh Jackman, to come over there and reprise his role as Wolverine?
I think you guys, as far as that goes, it's going to be a moneymaker. So it just makes sense. Whatever you have to pay Hugh Jackman, it just makes sense to go ahead and do that. And Wolverine has been the continual character through, whether it be, like the Days of Future Past or whether it be like the first X-Men movies, no matter who was playing what role, whether it was like, old Professor X, young Professor X, he was just always in there. So it just makes a lot of sense to have him continue.
Yeah.
I think he's going to die in his Deadpool 3.
He died in Logan.
Well, Straw Hat had a good, I was watching his video, and he had a theory that, you remember at the end of Deadpool 2 where he was time traveling?
Right.
And so you could easily have him time travel and save Logan, and he doesn't die, and he gets pissed off. And, with him time travel, it goes in perfect with the multiverse.
Interesting.
I really hope that this is an alternate universe or a variant. Just because, I mean, Hugh Jackman's a great Wolverine. Again, he's too tall. But the important thing is we need a new Wolverine, right? Hugh Jackman's not a young man.
Yeah.
So, he's not going to be signing these 8 picture deals, 4 picture deals for something that's starting in 2024. Now, I understand that, like, if you hired somebody new to be Cyclops, you got to pay that guy and you got to pay the old Cyclops. Wolverine, you hire him to pay Wolverine. You don't have to pay another Wolverine. You're still paying him, right? So I understand that, but he's just got to be a variant because they got to roll forward, and they're going to need their biggest gun is Wolverine, right?
Yeah, he's going to die. He's going to die. And then you're going to see a new Wolverine. And they could do it. It's 2024.
Yeah.
And if you got to introduce a new one, you have to pay the old one, which you're going to pay Hugh Jackman anyways. So you can bring in a new one, and then that's how you bring in Deadpool into the main Marvel universe.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, hopefully they make it so that this is the Deadpool from the Fox universe, although he did have his own X-Men, right? He didn't have the same X-Men except for that one scene where they opened the door, but he really didn't have the same X-Men, so he could be a different variant as well, not necessarily the Fox universe. But say he was a Fox universe, you know, hey, little portal opens up, you know, that maybe America Chavez made, and, you know, Wade pops in and he's like, hey, what's going on over here? Hey, look at that. He pops in, now he's in the MCU.
You remember that old meme when they were like doing, like when Doctor Strange first came out with the movie, and he did a little portal thing, and it had Deadpool and Wolverine stick their head out, to your point. Right. It was like all over Instagram. That'd be funny, and I could see them doing that because that's what Ryan Reynolds does. He likes to troll. Right. And I could see them doing that scene and go, what's this? And then just not even going through, just going back out or something, you know.
Or maybe just Deadpool and then Wolverine gets like chopped in half when he
yeah.
Wait, what if Deadpool got chopped in half with the portal as it's closing? He grows a new Deadpool on this side and he grows a new Deadpool on that side. Not that we care about the one on that side because Fox Universe is gone, but still, you know, it could explain having two.
I disagree, Alfonso. Let's go back to everything that Alfonso said about 5-10 minutes ago. Alfonso said that Hugh Jackman is too old to continue his role as Wolverine. No, he's not. Consider that Wolverine is not a character that requires a lot of agility. Mm-hmm. Even in his berserker mode, all he's doing is slashing, tearing, ripping, etc.
Right.
Also, as much as Wolverine in the comic books is dating this person, that person, you know, these ladies must be going for like the daddy vibe or something, because Wolverine has never looked like a young dude. You know, he's always looked like an older dude, and like hey, I'm mid-40s, all you 20-year-old kids, you know? So I don't think they really need to switch him up. I think they can continue with that.
Well, how about this? I'll just throw this out there. Why can't he be Old Man Logan? Just like the comics. A new Wolverine, but he's Old Man Logan. And he can still be in any of those movies from time to time. He can sign a 4-year contract. He can even do an 8-year contract. And then they can pick and choose when they use him. He doesn't have to be 8 straight movies.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing I'm more concerned with is it's not necessarily him being Wolverine. It's Hugh Jackman prepping to be Wolverine. I mean, I don't know if you've seen what he has to do to his body in order to do that and how much deficit he has to go through. It's killer, you know. He lets himself go. I mean, he's still in good shape, right? But he's not in Wolverine shape, right? And then he has to get in the Wolverine shape. And that's tough on a body, especially at that age. You know, Alfie. I mean, look at Hogan. He can't hold it. Yeah.
Alfie, I don't feel sorry for those guys. They pay someone. They pay people. They have the time to work out. They have the time to eat the food they need to eat. I don't feel sorry for them. It's hard enough for us to even go to the gym or make food ourselves, bro. That's why we can never be consistent with it. I'm big as hell. If they paid a dietitian, is that what they call a dietitian? Yeah, dietitian. Like and someone to train me, and I ain't got to pay any of that, bro, we would all look good, man. I don't ever feel sorry for someone that's getting paid a lot of money and their body is what makes them money. I don't feel sorry for that because they have that. They have the tools and the equipment to get where they got to get. I don't feel sorry for them.
Yeah, but as you get older, that puts a toll on your body. I mean, I guess there's people out there that are in amazing shape all the time that are older, you know, than even me. But you know, it's because he stops. If he would have he continues on, that'd be different. Where his body is, you know, is good for it, but he stops and then he has to start again, and it's just that's wear and tear in your body. That, you know, I don't know, man, that's tough,
bro. No, it's not, dude. He's still in good shape. You make it look like he looks like me. Like, it's going to take a lot of work. Someone like him that's already in decent shape, the way you prep for it, it doesn't hit you that much. He cuts 20 pounds, the dude's cut.
Yeah, he probably cuts a lot of water weight too.
You cut 20 pounds on me, they're like, bro, you getting bigger? It's just, it's just different because if you look at him, he's still in good shape. I don't think he has to train that hard. I mean, look at Thor, dude. There's discussions of whether or not that guy's natty or not. You know, just the way he'd be like put his body through. I mean, I'm sure his regime is tougher than Wolverine's.
Yeah, well, look, it's like 22. Jackman's like 83.
Yeah.
My math might be off. It's not my best subject.
Yeah.
Alfonso using hyperbole to prove his point.
Yeah,
that
but then
always
again,
works in my arguments.
But if he's Old Man Logan, he doesn't have to be rip and cut anymore.
No, yeah, he could just wear a trench coat and a hat.
No, he wears a white beater still, like a white beater. I think that's what Logan did, right? Old Man Logan in the comics, he wore like a white in the beginning. Was it like a white beater, like a white one? In some jeans, I think it was.
Duster. Yeah, he walked around in a duster mostly.
No,
and a big Clint Eastwood hat, cigar.
Yeah, he could totally do that.
Totally.
I would say the Old Man Logan does make sense because people always want to see Wolverine, but it could just be a natural progression because the Logan movies do exist, and that opens up the possibility for X-23, or even Dakin. Help me out here, Alfonso.
Dakin.
Yeah.
It's not Dakin. That's the metal band.
Dakin.
Yeah, Dakin.
Rhymes with bacon.
Yeah. Even that name sucks. No one cared about Dakin because he's stinking. No one ever cared.
Yeah. However, Dakin was in the Dark Avengers, so I don't know. That's interesting. But let me ask you guys a question. Now, this is going to be directed towards Joe more, just so you guys know. There's a lost episode which we need to finish the other half of. D23 turns out. By the way, guys, it turns out that didn't even record. Like when you guys were talking, when I got kicked out of the chat, it didn't record. So anyway, the lost episode, we're going to have to completely re-record that. But let me say this. We sat and slept through D23. And Ryan Reynolds just points it out in the very beginning. He's like, yo, sorry I couldn't do this at D23. It's not, dude, he filmed that in like someone's log cabin. There's no reason why he couldn't have put that out for D23.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to throw it over to Joe because I want to hear his rage. Why do you think they didn't put this out at D23?
Dude, he's trolling, bro. That's why he did that. There's no reason for him to say that. He's trolling for all of us that camped out in that whack, wiggity, whack D23 Marvel panel. He could have easily, dude, it was like a minute and a half, man. He could have easily came out there and just said, hey, here's a minute and a half. Dude, the crowd would have went crazy, man. Would have went crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
But instead, we got like a musical, right?
I could do this all day.
Yeah, it's just terrible. And then it's so bad. I brainwashed myself to not remember anything about that.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, knights, we may discuss that at some point in the very near future because I think some interesting stuff did come out of D23, but it wasn't Deadpool 3. Alfonso, why do you think they waited?
I think it was like a Ryan Reynolds marketing ploy. Just like he's like, oh, hey, look, somebody released the first minute of Deadpool, and now everybody really wants it, right? He's kind of about that like crash marketing, guerrilla warfare type stuff, right? He's like, hey, we're gonna do it like anti-establishment. Like, hey, I'm gonna make a Deadpool 3 movie. What am I gonna do? Oh, hey, you want to be in Wolverine one more time? And he's like, I think he did it on purpose, and I think he's like, if I go out and do the announcement, it'll be great, it'll be awesome, everybody will love it. But that's not what I do. What I do is I sneak it in under the wire.
Alfonso has made me change my opinion again without me actually having a chance to disagree. Pretty awesome, Alfonso. So initially I was thinking like, oh, well, it would overshadow everything at D23. And, there wasn't much really going on at D23. But I'm going to ask Alfonso and Joe to tell me if I'm correct. The Deadpool movie started off as Ryan Reynolds kind of making his own trailer and then like just putting it up on the internet. And people were like, yeah, we want to see this. Isn't that how it all started?
Yeah.
How did this get leaked? I don't know.
Exactly. So if you think about it, this totally falls in line with what Ryan Reynolds does. He doesn't do, to Alfonso's point, he doesn't do some flashy D23 panel. He goes guerrilla marketing. He's just like, yo, it's me and my homie with a camcorder. My homie's recording me in the bathroom. I'm watching my boy walk up the stairs. Done. 20 minutes to record this, and I'm going to give you a minute and a half video. That's what Ryan Reynolds does when it comes to his Deadpool movie. So that's a great point, Alfonso.
I disagree. Let me explain why I disagree.
Bring it.
This is why I disagree, bro. I think Ryan Reynolds heard our plea when we said the D23 sucked donkey butt. And was just like, I feel sorry for these chaps that had to wake up at like 1 a.m. to camp out and watch these whack ass trailers, scenes, boo-boo freaking announcements. Let me just do something that's gonna let me call Kevin Feige and be like, hey man, people are saying word on the street that this panel sucked, man. I have an idea that I want to share. And if you don't like it, so what? I don't care. That's raw base. But yeah,
So
you know, like that's perfectly for Ryan Reynolds. He's like, hey, I got an idea. I'm just gonna do it. But he just knew that it was terrible. It was terrible, man. It was terrible. You know, if they would have just, this is why I think they're doo-doo, man. It's less than, it's like a minute and a half. If they would have finished D23 with that, dude, it would have been like, whoa, it would have been worth it. Because you open it up with Black Panther to this first scene, it was awesome, and you finish it with that at the end. That would have been perfect.
So Joe acts like we didn't get to see a sneak preview of Avatar 2 at the end of D23's Marvel panel.
Bro, that movie's came out, I think, on the 23rd of this month, right? No one's talking about that, bro. You had
that's not the same movie.
It's not Avatar 2?
No.
Oh, so so when's the Avatar 2 come? Who cares, bro? If you gotta put your first original movie back in the theaters because everybody forgot about what that movie was. The only thing people remember about Avatar is it made the most money. And Endgame or Infinity War was really close to trying to get there, and it didn't do it. That's the only thing they know about Avatar, bro. People care more about Avatar: The Last Airbender right now in this day and age than Avatar.
Yeah.
Bro, no one there at D23 was caring about the Avatar. They gave us 3D glasses to watch it. I mean, it was cool visuals, but it was wasted our time. It was at the end of the panel. We wanted to leave.
So I just brought up Avatar 2 so that Joe could rage some more. Mission accomplished.
Terrible, man. You had to finish, dude. They had to finish it with that, bro. Come on, bro, dude. And then they gave us like what? It was like 10 scenes throughout the movie. And I'm like, you basically just told us what the movie's about. I definitely don't want to watch this,
bro. I'll say this: Avatar 2 being at the end of the Marvel D23 panel did what everything's done for Phase 4. The end credits suck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dude, so
this panel made Phase 4 not so bad.
Don't go that far, bro.
Oh, I went there, bro. I went there. You were falling asleep.
I woke up for the Marvel panel, but I should have slept through parts of it. So you guys brought up some interesting theories. I'll throw out my idea, and then Alfonso, you can continue with your previous thought. I feel like this movie is not going to be in the MCU. I feel like this is going to be a different universe, and it's not going to cross over with the MCU proper. In fact, I'm willing to say, I'm calling it now. This movie will be Deadpool kills the MCU.
I'm thinking more Deadpool is going to take over the Stan Lee cameo game.
You think this movie is going to be part of the MCU?
I think it is. I think it's actually, like I was saying, it's going to be in the Fox universe, and at the end, he's going to walk through a portal, and that's going to be it, you know? And then there he is, bam, and now he's going to be the new Stan Lee. Oops, we need our big boy pants.
Joe, jump on this. MCU or standalone universe?
Why? Well, if you do the MCU where it kills the MCU, I mean, you still got to bring in Deadpool into the main Marvel universe. I think they're going to do that with this movie. But it would be nice for him to kill the MCU. But if you do it that way, how are you going to tie it towards the end for him? Because they basically pretty much want him to come into the Marvel universe. So I think this movie is going to be working towards him coming into the MCU, or he could already be in MCU.
True. What? Go ahead, Alfonso.
What if it's him killing the Fox universe?
Alfonso once again. Dude, Alfonso's like, checkmate, son. I'm done.
X-Men, man. We're talking X-Men.
Yeah. Alfonso just keeps dropping the mic and walking away. That's so perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
And then to piggyback off that, and then you can bring in every previous person that played any of the X-Men characters, and he kills them off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
And they get paid because if they do it or not, they got to get paid, right? So they might as well be there and get paid. And then when he gets to the Marvel Universe, MCU, and you start having mutants, he'd be like, haven't I killed you? Oh, wait, no, somebody else used that line. Haven't I killed you before? Right? It's like, oh, I know you. Yeah, here's a basket of fruit for no particular reason. Sorry about that. Sorry about what? Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they'll bring in Kang in this one?
No. I just feel like this is going to be standalone. I think Alfonso's called it. There will be no MCU characters. It's all going to be the Fox universe, and that's that.
Yeah. But what if they bring in Kang and he kills off the Fox universe, right? And then Old Man Logan and Deadpool end up in the MCU. Hey, Kang's coming.
That might work. That might work, actually.
Or what if Kang's like, I need warriors. You come with me.
No. I mean, Kang's up to something because, like when we saw that weak Ant-Man trailer where he's like, you have the means to get what I want. Who cares, bro? Who cares?
That trailer was pretty good, man. I'm excited for Kang. I'm actually not excited for the Ant-Man 3 movie because Ant-Man 2 was trash. But Kang, he's an interesting character. Alfonso, it was a complete trash, man. It was, they tried to go for too much comedy, and it's like it was almost like Thor 4, where it's like, this was funny, so we're gonna try this again. We're just gonna do more. If you like syrup on your pancakes, you know what you'll like? The entire bottle of unfunny syrup.
It's like DC. DC, their movies. Hey, let's just make it dark. The darker, the better. And I think that's Marvel's kryptonite. Let's make it funny. The funnier, the better.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with them doing like She-Hulk. Okay, that's She-Hulk and Deadpool. That's going to be funny. So, you have your characters that you can just make funny. But does every character have to tell a joke now?
Yes, they do.
I saw something pretty interesting on TikTok. Somebody brought up a point. Like, the thing about the Thor movies, because I like the fourth one, and this is why. Because if you look at the first movie, that was narrated by Jane Foster. The second movie was narrated by Loki. The third movie was narrated by Thor. And like the mood of each three movies were different, right? And this one was comical, but it was narrated by Korg from his point of view. So I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make the movie any better, but I see that now, I'm like, that sounds pretty awesome.
Alfonso just dropped the mic on himself. He was like, I got this great theory, but it doesn't make the movie any better. Well, you just said it for me. Thank you, Alfonso.
Because the first two directors of Thor's were different. I mean, I get it if Taika Waititi did the first two and then this one and that one, but I think Taika Waititi said, hey, the third one was funny. Let's just make it funnier. And it was just, like I get, I mean, we've talked about it before, a lot of people, myself included, joke around a lot and try to make other people laugh. That's how you deal with your anxiety. And sometimes when you're depressed, which I get, but other people in the movie don't all have to make jokes. I get why Thor, you want to make Thor tell the jokes because that's how he fights it. You don't have to make everybody in the dang movie tell the joke. It loses its mystique of what you're trying to accomplish with Thor. Like the goat making the sounds. I'm like, it was funny the first time. You don't have to hear it every time they roll through.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, even Genius is edited a little more. Like even this podcast has to be edited down a little bit. Thor should have been edited down a little bit. There should have been more on the cutting room floor.
Well, I didn't have a problem with Thor telling jokes because that's who he is now. To
Right.
deal with the trauma that he's gone through. I mean, the guys went through a lot, and different people handle stress, depression, anxiety in their own way.
Right.
But I feel everybody in the movie was telling a joke, and come on, man. I mean, if you look at like Jane Foster, she wasn't really telling that many jokes in the first few Thor movies.
No.
She was very serious, right? And then all of a sudden now she's throwing out jokes. And then Valkyrie was, kind of, but not so much. And now she's telling more jokes. It's like pick a comedic value of who you want to be funny, but you can't say, hey, I'm gonna be serious and be funny and then be really serious and then be funny again. It just, for me, that just doesn't work. You try to be funny, and then at the end of the movie, you try to make it, oh, look, Thor's a dad now.
That's why it's called comedic relief.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's serious and then someone breaks the tension.
Right.
But Marvel's doing the opposite, where everything is just a joke, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not a release from the action. It completely dulls the action.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree.
It's like, remember Mankind back in the day in WWF? Yes, said WWF. Mankind would name the city that he was in to get a cheap pop. And I feel that's what Marvel is doing. Let's just keep telling these jokes to get a cheap pop out of the people watching the movie.
I can back that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So the MCU as a whole, it's gone back and forth, and it's interesting that they haven't announced that Deadpool is part of Phase 5 or 6. Yeah. So, that definitely pushes it in a different direction. But what other X-Men, if you could only pick one, because I think Deadpool kills the Fox universe is just a freaking amazing idea. Alfonso said it first. So Straw Hat Goofy, Soups, that dude on CBR that I watch, and that other dude that Joe hates that can't narrate very well. Alfonso said it first. Keep that in mind. Alfonso said it first. Only one X-Man can you bring into this movie other than Wolverine. Who's it going to be, and why is it Nightcrawler?
Me first. I'm gonna have to go with the Cajun sensation, Gambit.
Wow. Now keep in mind, this is going to be a throwaway character because it's just going to be like, hey, we're killing everybody, so they're not going to have nothing but a few minutes on screen, and they're going to get killed. But
but we'll give him another one in the MCU. Okay, well, if you're going to want to throw him away, let's go ahead and throw in Strong Guy, Guido Caroselli.
Strong Guy. I will say this: Peter David. Don't get started, Joe. Peter David made Strong Guy cool. Between Larry Stroman's art and Peter David's writing, Strong Guy was cool. He was a throwaway character, but they made him cool.
But you know who ain't cool? Freaking Peter David. Yeah, I said it, bro. You're a punk, bro. How you gonna write characters that are cool, but you ain't cool in real life, bro? Looking at your phone, knowing dang well you ain't talking to anybody. Ain't no one trying to talk to you, fool.
He wants to put Peter David in the movie just to kill him off.
Wow, Joe. So Joe, one character, not two like Alfonso did, because Alfonso never follows the rules. He's like, Gambit and Strong Guy. That's one.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the ruls.
But to go back to your point before I say which one I want to see, which I'm sure you both probably already know, who I'm going to pick. I think that is Phase 6 because it released the date. It's in 2024 with the rest of Phase 6. I think that's part of Phase 6 because he is Marvel now. So I want to say that's part of Phase 6. But for me, because it did my boy dirty, Lucas Bishop. He needs to come back because he's dope. And it did him dirty like Christina Aguilera. They need to bring him back. How you going to die from energy when you absorb energy and shoot it back? That don't make sense to me.
they do to Christina Aguilera?
Well, because it's I'm gonna get dirty because they did him dirty. You remember that song back in the day?
No, all I know from Christina Aguilera was Genie in a Bottle.
That was like when she first came out. Remember, she was like, I think it had Redman in it too. I think Redman was like, he had a rap part in it.
All I know is she better switch me chairs.
Yeah, because her chair won't be all staticky. It won't cause static on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Like Christina Aguilera has a whisper chair.
Yeah. Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Am I moving this thing again? Dang it.
No, you're actually good, man.
Next podcast, okay. New chair.
Let me ask you this, Joe, okay? Because as I was talking to Alfonso about Gambit, I was thinking like, okay, but would they use, what's the name of the guy who was supposed to be Gambit and then he just like never materialized? Magic Mike.
Oh, Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, right? So would they use him? Now let me ask you this, Joe. If it's going to be a throwaway role, do you bring in Redman because he was campaigning to become Bishop?
You mean Method Man?
Would you? Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that, bro. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It was a blackout. What can I say?
Yeah.
So would you want to see Method Man? One shot, he's going to die. Would you want to see it?
Yeah, why not, dude? Method Man's dope, dude. I came to bring the pain hardcore to your brain. Method Man's dope, dude. He got that voice. Oh, yeah. He's been working out, too. I'm down with that.
Okay. So, as I stated before, I would want to see Nightcrawler because I feel like Nightcrawler has the best fight scenes in all the X-Men movies. Like, this guy, do you remember when he was on the train in the last X-Men movie? Like, this guy, he steals the action in every scene. So, he's going to die. That's fine. But Nightcrawler, another Nightcrawler appearance, I would love it.
I think Quicksilver had the better scenes.
See, I can't disagree with that, because, Quicksilver, he brought it, dude. I mean, the first time he did, with the whole slow-mo, it was cool, but then they kind of went back to the well, but it was still cool. So I can't disagree, though, dude. Quicksilver, he also brought it.
But the X-Men 2 United, I mean, that scene with Nightcrawler was pretty dope for its time, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene was really dope. That's the only thing that was best about that movie was that first 5. Dude, that's basically D23. They gave you the first 5 minutes, like, oh, this is going to be good. And then, wah, 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 METHOD. Man, I'm hyped up. Method Man could do that, bro.
Yeah, I would love to see Method Man as Now, what about you, Alfonso? Channing Tatum, one shot only?
Oh, yeah, totally. Because you know what? I just recently watched This Is the End again. I don't know if have you guys seen that movie? It's not great, but This Is the End. It was like This Is the End.
No, it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah. Well, what it is basically like the end times. Like people get beamed up to heaven, and then everybody else stays. Hell opens up, and it becomes anarchy. You've got all these actors. You got Seth Rogen. You got James Franco. You got all these people, right?
Okay.
So anyways, this one guy shows. Oh crap! I forget what his name is, but he shows up and he's got a gimp on a chain and it's like pulling him in and everything. And he's like, he comes over and he's up in his leg, and he takes off his mask. He's like, "Oh hey, what's up, guys?" Dude, it was Channing Tatum. That guy is comedy gold, man. I was dying laughing in that. I've seen him do some funny stuff, but that was the absolute best. So
that's what he's known for, though, right? He's pretty funny. But what was a serious movie that you saw him in? I guess I never watched a movie where he was transporting a dog.
Yeah,
I mean that looked like a serious role for him, but you hardly ever see the guy do serious roles. It's always something funny. I mean, he did a lot of dance movies too. Step It Up. He's kind of serious, but I don't know.
That was probably his most serious role. Yeah, but I think because of the Deadpool, the aura of Deadpool, I think that would work really well. I think Channing Tatum as Gambit, he could come and he could play the scenes with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, and hold his own, and then get killed off just like Brad Pitt, the Vanisher.
What I'm kind of worried about too is you remember at the end of Deadpool 2 where he kept doing all these little skits back to back and going different time traveling. I just hope that Deadpool 3, the whole movie is not going to be him doing that, like just nonstop. You know what I mean? I hope there's a story and he just doesn't keep doing like those quick, you know what I mean? Like quick puns to make fun of how Fox is unsuccessful. You know what I mean? And how like there's a new reaction kind of thing.
Well, I'm sort of okay with him talking about the things that people complain about with the Fox universe.
Yes.
Like if you move from X-Men 1, Halle Berry as Storm had an African accent. And I want to say by the end of the movie, definitely X-Men 2, she just gave up on that accent. Yeah. So there's stuff like that they could definitely talk about, or maybe they could even bring back Darwin, because that's one of the things people talk. These are like, he could bring that up, like, so you can adapt to anything, huh? Or kill him again.
Yeah.
Adapt.
So you're saying Halle Berry was that Kevin Costner in Robin Hood, where he's trying so hard to do that English accent. He just said, F it.
That's what happened, bro. So yeah, I mean,
are you with me? Are you with me, my brother? Like, what is he trying to imitate? Christian Slater had a better accent.
Yeah. Guys, after talking to you guys about Deadpool 3, I always say that we, not the three of us, but let's say nerds in general, definitely those clowns on TikTok, Soups. They throw out these theories. We throw out these theories about what's supposed to happen in the movie, or what's supposed to happen at D23, and then people go, well, how come there was no Henry Cavill? Because he was never going to be there, bro. Because one TikToker lied, and another TikToker was like, "Yo, that's the scoop." And then that guy lied, and then someone else was like, "Oh, I don't want to get left behind, so I'm gonna say it, even though I don't know if it's true or not." So, so I feel like theories and conjecture and things like that, it's fun, but as long as it's not taken seriously, it's like, let's play D&D or play fantasy football with what we think is going to happen in a movie, but don't go into the movie thinking that you're Kevin Feige, because you're not, bro. But me getting back on track, you guys have me very excited about what this movie could be.
Yeah. Just be like those guys, bro. Look on comic book news. Oh, that's the headline. Then we get on TikTok. Oh, it's great news, guys. So check this out. This is what's gonna happen. And be like everybody else.
This is what I read on We Got This Covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok has actually turned into We Got This Covered, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I would want to go back and see, and I'm sure someone does this, and this is just me being a stat nerd. Like, of the top 3 TikTokers that, I watch on a regular basis, which is the brother from CBR, and then, also, let's see here, New Rock Stars, I watch them. And of course, we have Straw Hat Goofy, who, in my opinion, is probably the best of the TikTokers, because he's got personality, and he doesn't go too far off. But anyway, I wonder what the percentage is of even being right.
It's like 3%.
Well, like, because they show up on the FYP, like a lot of them are not right at all. Even Straw Hat's not right. But Straw Hat, this is my opinion kind of guy. This is what I think is going to happen. This is what I hope is going to happen.
This is what I want to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he's not like, he doesn't say, this is fact. This is the way it is. This is what's happening. He's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, gentlemen, like I said before, I am really excited about, a minute and a half trailer, and I'm excited because you guys took something that was abstract and you built a construct around it, and you created something that I'm excited about. So thank you guys very much for that.
Yeah. I think we just need to start, instead of, this is what I would love to see happen, as opposed to, this is what's going to happen, guys. This connects to that, and this is right there. Yeah. To just like, they sound like a bunch of Beavis and Buttheads. But, like, just get up there and be like, hey, this is what I hope to see. I'm not saying that we will see it, but I hope to see it.
I agree 100%. Well, you know what, Alfonso, because you are our resident X-Man authoritarian, I'm going to let you take us home with your final thoughts on what your, let's say, your expectations. What do you expect to see with Deadpool 3?
Deadpool 3, it's of course going to start out with a musical number, nice slow motion. You know, that's where Nightcrawler pops in. Oh, man, I could paint a picture of a Deadpool kills the Fox universe so well. You know, you start off with Nightcrawler, you know, they're popping around. Deadpool's got his little teleporter off with his head, right? Next thing you know, like, of course, Wolverine will be saved for last. But, you know, you just go through all the X-Men. He'd go through, I don't know, who else is in the Fox universe? Fantastic Four. Oh, killing off the Fantastic Four. That would be sweet. Throw a bucket of water on the Human Torch, you know. Put a bunch of M80s inside the thing and the cracks in his skin and just boom. Invisible Woman, throw some baby powder out there. What I do want to see more than anything, especially with the way She-Hulk is breaking the fourth wall, is him showing up on one of her Tinder dates.
What's Tinder?
Is that your final thought?
That's my. Wait, yeah. Wait, yeah.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this concludes this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, I am NWO.
We are NWO.
Nerds Redefined. Booyah!